understand that.
I think that's offensive.
Okay, how is one of the victims a family?
Because I didn't kill my family, that's why.
Unlike any interrogation these cops had ever conducted, this one unfolded in the most bizarre place, a hospital.
Alex, every time we talk about it, your vein tells me that your heart's beating real fast.
Detectives were eyeing this young man, Alex Jackson, who had just learned his family was dead.
Who shot your... Who else is here? There was a man. I fought him.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
What began as routine questioning soon turned into a strange and intense grilling session, testing every tactic the cops had in store.
I just spelled out all of the evidence to you, and then you're going to sit here and tell me I think you're dumb.
Let's assume your dad saw him, okay? I'll play that game with you.
Soon, these detectives would find out whether they would get what they wanted the most, a confession.
Yeah, well, we found the guy.
Just told me.
Why didn't say it was you?
On June 15th, 2021, a 911 call led police to the Jackson home.
Lynn County Sheriff, what's your emergency? I've been shot. My other family member's been shot. I need help immediately.
Okay, I've got officers in the back and the front. That's why they're ringing your doorbell.
Right, but this sounds... If there's people in the house, there's no reason they can't come out.
The reason why the people inside the house couldn't come out was because they were dead. However, these cops had no idea what was awaiting inside the House of Horrors was a crime so shocking, the last time something like this was witnessed was in 1982.
Triple homicide anywhere would be a big story. We hadn't seen one, I think, since 1982.
Can you put your hands out to the side where I can see them?
The person they expected to catch was Jan Jackson, but he has already been dead for hours.
What happened? What happened? Who shot your... Who else is here? My sister. She's in the back? Yeah, she's in her room. Is she okay? I think so. What's her name? Sabrina? Sabrina? Is that a room right there?
Jan Jackson, Sabrina Jackson, and the third and final victim, Melissa Jackson, were all dead. The only person left alive to explain what had happened was Alex Jackson.
Alex, what happened?
There was a man?
What man?
A tall man?
Breathe and relax, all right?
We're gonna help you out. Help you out. 20? Okay. 1, 2. Wait on your foot. We're at the limp out. Coming out to you.
Yeah. You want me to go with him?
Yeah.
I tried asking him. He didn't. Yeah. He just said there's a man, and that's all the further we got.
He was rushed for medical care and questioning, but little did the officers know it would be the beginning of this case full of bizarre events, because Alex's interrogation was happening in the most unlikely place, a hospital.
How bad are you hurting right now? Okay. After the payments I gave you?
Yeah.
What would you rate it 0 to 10 to be a lover?
3 victims were dead and 1 was barely injured. So detectives Sarah Lacina and Matthew Denlinger wanted more than just a confession. They needed answers. As nothing was taken from the house, who was this mysterious intruder who had entered the house just to kill? What could drive someone to commit such a horrific act? And was Alex Jackson withholding the key to it all?
Hey, is that Alex?
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, my name's Sarah, and I'm an investigator with the police department. Okay? And this is my partner, Matt. He's an investigator too at the police department, okay? Alright, but do you go by Alex?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're 20?
Yes. I've got a big old foot.
And this is just normal stuff. Brandon just takes lots of pictures, alright?
What's that? Do you like feet? Oh, no, just, I like to take photos of blood, so. Very standard, though. We just like to, especially injuries like this, gotta do our best to document everything. Yeah, it looks like it probably went through your foot. Where were you at when this happened? I wonder if we could find that bullet on the ground.
Shell casings right here.
Okay.
We have confirmed all 3.
Yeah.
This is in the 6. Hey, Alex.
This is kind of confusing for us, all these circumstances, and we would like to chat with you some more about what happened and try to help you figure it out.
Can I give him pain meds or?
Is your foot real bad? Do you think you could hold off on pain meds for maybe 15 minutes for us to talk to you?
I can talk.
Okay. If that's all right with you? Sure.
One of the most debated aspects of this case wasn't what Alex said, but where he said it. Interrogating someone in a hospital room who was injured and in pain raised serious ethical questions. Could investigators really delay pain meds for answers? The justification was clear. If Alex was innocent, a killer was roaming free in a city untouched by such crime for decades. The stakes were too high. But this wouldn't be the last time the pain meds Alex received would become a key part of the story.
And was there anyone else? Who lives with you at the house?
My mom, dad, sister, and dog.
Okay. Sister's name?
Sabrina. Like the witch.
Okay. How old is she?
19, 18. Oh, that works. Hey, Sabrina like the witch? Yeah. Is that a nickname you got? No, it's just serious.
It's Sabrina the teenage witch?
Yeah. Not based on how she acts.
Alright, so you go to bed at about 11 last night on the porch. Mm-hmm. Were you the last one to go to bed?
Maybe. I think my mom was still walking around.
Mm-hmm. Can you see the silence? You see all on the bottom?
Yeah.
And no, mom, dad, and Sabrina were all at home too?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to bed, and then what time did you wake up this morning?
I woke up and heard gunshots. I don't know if he was there.
No, there's a white man, black man, Hispanic, Asian.
Oh, I know he's wearing black clothes. I don't. I heard him downstairs, so I went downstairs. And he was messing with my dad's gun. What kind of gun? 22. Right? Yeah. Do you have a mask on? Looks like, oh yeah, one of those ski masks or whatever.
So you went downstairs, he was messing with your dad's gun. And then what happened?
Well, he's messing with her. And oh my dad, I think.
He told your dad? What do you think that?
I don't know.
What was your dad saying anything to him?
He was on the floor, and I ran at him.
Your dad was?
You might have to. You ran at the guy with the gun? Yeah.
What stood out next in this case was Alex's emotionless and casual behavior. His family was slaughtered in his own home, and yet he displayed no heartbreak, no horror in the face of this tragedy. In fact, he appears to be coming up with responses on the fly as the questioning unfolds. It was this behavior that slowly shifted the narrative from sympathy to suspicion. The family was considered close-knit and lived a stable life, making the events that unfolded all the more shocking. Right away, it seems like we've heard and seen too much.
So you pushed him. Did he say anything to you?
Deep, what I pushed. Quite deep. Yeah, deep close. Oh,
Voice.
gotcha.
What did he say? You and him were struggling with the gun?
Yeah, struggle, yeah.
And then he fired it?
Yeah.
And it shot you in the foot?
Yeah, so.
And then what happened?
I think I just fell. And I saw him running
So you know that your dad was there, and you were down there. Had you gone in any other part of the house?
Nope.
Okay. Do you know were your mom and sister home?
I think so, yeah. They should be.
They wouldn't have left anywhere.
No.
Okay.
My sister might have had work.
Okay, so you hadn't been up prior to this happening. You woke up to this.
Yeah.
Okay. No breakfast or anything yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm not hungry.
Okay. And but the only person that you've seen today is that guy and then your dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever seen him before?
No, well, I don't know who it is.
Sure. Didn't know if you'd ever recognized his voice or anything like that.
Yeah.
Do you or anyone in your family have any problems with anyone?
Not really.
Why would this happen?
I don't know.
Do you think someone was upset with your family?
It's just that way. I don't know what.
You don't know who or what, or what they'd be upset about? How do you feel about your family?
I love my family.
Did they ever do anything that upsets you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sure. Tell me about that. What do they do that upsets you?
Oh, it's just like, we didn't have certain things that worked on it.
Yeah. What other family you got?
Most other families in Oregon, that's where we're from.
Sure. I know you said your parents were retired, but what did they do when they were?
Oh, he's 19 manager at International Paper. Yeah.
Just not retired now.
Yeah, he's retired.
If you're wondering why detectives were eyeing this young man who had just learned his family was dead, it was because the first red flag was the lack of forced entry into the house. Next, his story about an intruder crumbled when neighbors' CCTV footage was reviewed, which had captured everything around the Jackson home, except for any intruder. Was Alex the murderer or the fourth victim in this case? In about 10 seconds, you'll be able to notice the next red flag.
Things that you do with your dad, you play games, what else do you do?
We go shooting.
You go shooting?
Yeah.
Like at the shooting range?
We have a shortage.
What do you guys usually shoot when you go there?
One, like, drives out of the city. And then there's a shooting range over there.
What do you shoot? Like shotguns, handguns?
Oh, long guns.
Long guns?
We haven't shot for a while.
How many? Do you have any guns?
I guess I have one.
Which?
Quite two, I guess.
What kind of guns do you have?
It's like a 22's plenty. Bombs. Yeah, I think.
Are all the guns kept in a locker?
All the two of the, well, two modern ones.
Where are those kept?
I don't know.
So you and your dad were cleaning that 22 because you were going to go shooting today?
Yeah, because we have one for one.
Okay. Did he, after he shot you, he left?
I think so.
Did he still have the gun?
I don't know.
Now, you said that your dad was there laying on the ground, and then you called 911.
Well, I called it after I crawled away.
You crawled away?
Yeah.
And then you called. Did you go back over to your dad?
Yeah.
Okay. Was your dad saying anything, or did you talk to him? I know it's but we weren't there, bud, so we, you're the only one that can tell us.
This could very well be the only time in this interrogation when Alex would show some emotions. What could have been possible motives for this 20-year-old to kill his entire family? The leap from a family's beloved son to a family killer is staggering, and the motives could be many. But first, he was about to slip up and make a crucial mistake that would cost him dearly.
You know when I got shot, I thought it hurt.
He got it hurt.
Come in here.
It didn't hurt that bad?
Well, it hurt, but, you know,
How come you stopped going to Iowa? Or are you just taking a break for the summer?
yeah, summer.
Oh. So have you done 2 years in Iowa?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you majored in business? You have to do this last year online?
Yeah.
How's that?
I dropped down a little.
Oh, you did?
Like every Friday.
Oh.
I think, I don't know.
Did you, like your freshman year, did you stay down there? Or did you always, oh, you did? And then yeah, that's a good idea. So what do you want to do with your business degree once you get it?
I'm not too sure.
Don't know yet?
Alex might have a business degree, but selling lies clearly isn't his strong suit. The clip you just watched perhaps had the only hint at the motive, which the cops would come to by the end of the interrogation. Alex, an Eagle Scout and business student, now sits alone after an x-ray procedure, giving us the perfect chance to reevaluate his story.
You can see throughout this videotaped interview, you can see us on our phones. We're getting text messages from people that are out at the scene.
I'll work that. We can work up in this yard here, but like I said, the sergeant, all of them will walk through here. So make sure no one, she's not picking anything up coming through here. So
K9 wasn't having any success.
We don't want to confront somebody whose family's just been murdered in the event that they're not the ones who did it. However, when things don't make sense, you then have to ask those hard questions.
When we stepped out, we talked to our coworkers. They were up at your house. Okay. This is your house, and this is the neighborhood, and Alex, the reality is there's not any evidence that anyone else was over at your house. It's okay. It's okay. But there was a man there. Alex, do you want to tell us what happened? What really happened?
Alex, we're not here to judge you at all. Like I said,
I went downstairs, and the man was there. I fought him. I got shot, and I think he left.
Alex, that's not what the evidence showed.
What do you mean?
Well, like I said, if there had been a person there, there would be some evidence that he showed up. There would also be evidence that he left, because he's not there now. And there is no evidence for that. No one else was there.
Well, he was there.
Like Sarah said, we're not here to judge you. Something happened in your house, and we're just trying to figure out why.
because Matt and I talk to a lot of people, so I've been a police officer for 15 years now, and Matt's been a police officer for 20 plus, and a lot of people that we talk to do a lot of things for their own reasons. I mean, you don't live my life and I don't live your life, and you know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's why when we ask these questions, we do it because we want to understand. There's a reason why something bad happened. And I know you know that reason, but I don't. And I want to understand it.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, you do. And you don't feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders anymore. You know what I mean? Have you ever felt that way before?
I feel it, I guess.
You haven't?
Did you say you dropped out of Iowa? Did you say you dropped out of Iowa?
No.
No, he's on summer break.
Oh, on summer break.
Yeah, I'm taking a big break. Because I was looking for a job.
How did your dad feel about your choices or life choices?
And with this, we're one step closer to identifying his possible motive for killing his father. Alex's narrative gives us a picture of the basic anatomy of a lie, which begins with the setup. In every lie, there's an initial story that victimizes the suspect smoothly. The next phase is the emotional play, like in this case, Alex portrayed himself as a distraught survivor. And the final bit is defense escalation, the struggle to keep up with the strings of lies created so far. Now that Alex has become the prime suspect in this case, the interrogators are beginning to utilize sophisticated interrogation techniques.
Tell me about this relationship with your sister. It doesn't seem like it's quite
I mean, we're brothers. We're not the closest.
Do you like her?
Yeah, she's my sister.
What do you think about what happened to your sister?
What happened to her? Is she alright?
Well, Alex, I think, like I said, you've been honest and cooperative with us at this point. I think everybody in the room can tell what's been going on, okay?
What?
Well, you know that somebody hurt your family.
Yeah.
And you know who hurt your family.
No. Well, yeah, I do.
You do?
Not really.
What do you mean?
It's like, yeah.
There's not
There
a
was
guy.
a guy.
That didn't happen.
Because they've looked at the videos. There's nobody coming and going through your house. Nobody entered or left your house. Okay. So the person that hurt your family was inside your home. Okay.
Who?
Well,
It's not me.
you didn't hurt your family
No, I would never.
in the right frame of mind at the time, and that's why we're trying to understand why. Because you said that you guys get along just fine. So that's what's perplexing to me right now is for me to understand why you would want to hurt your family.
I wouldn't.
We would not sit here and ask you that specific question if
Yeah,
we didn't have.
I didn't do.
Okay.
I would never.
That's evidence in a case like this. It's not going to be the lab stuff.
Well, I think it helps.
Well, right. It's going to be something as simple as just verifying that no one came and left your house when you told us that someone did. That's almost there. That's the easiest way to.
For example, when you called 911.
Yeah.
Okay. You told them that your mom and your sister had been shot.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You did.
I've been shot. My other family member's been shot. I need help immediately.
I'm assuming the worst.
Well,
But I hope the best.
okay. But what would make you just assume that then?
Asked you about your sister, and you acted like you had no idea what happened to her.
Yeah, she's fine.
Well, you told the 911 dispatch that your mom and your sister were shot.
Well, maybe they are.
Okay, well, you told them they were.
Are they fine? Yeah.
Well, you were there and you saw them.
I just want to know seriously.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
And that's consistent.
I hope she's fine.
Okay, and that's consistent with what they're telling us. The evidence is showing at the scene, okay? Remember, originally when we were talking, you said that you had gotten up from the porch because you were gunshots and you went directly downstairs. Well, you were in your sister's room.
Well, I was just watching my room for a double foot room. So, Brandy Underwood's closest thing.
There's issues in your house with your family that you're having. You gotta share those with us.
I don't have issues with my family.
Okay. When's the first time you thought about this scenario?
I didn't do it. Okay? I would never hurt my family. They are important to me. I love them. You may not understand that, but I love them.
Alex, who seemed to be an innocent guy at the beginning, soon turned out to be a tough nut to crack. This is where the case would take another shocking turn. The detectives are about to unleash every tactic they've mastered throughout their careers to get a confession out of Alex. From this moment forward, we'll watch these two detectives pull out every stop to break Alex down. They kick things off with the oldest trick in the book, the tried and tested good cop, bad cop routine. But will Alex take the bait?
So, again, given what we know, and it's not what we think at this thing, it's what we know, okay? I mean, there's lots of officers out there, and they relay all the information, and lots of experience. We don't just guess at things, okay? So we know nobody was in your house. We know that for a fact. I'm telling you though, there were 4 people in your house. We know that.
My family?
Yeah. That's it.
No.
No. I'm telling you, those are the facts.
I thought I was supposed to help me.
We are, and that's why we're talking to you, Alex. Because otherwise we could just leave. But I really think
at some point you're going to need to explain to someone why this happened, whether it be Sarah and I, or whether it be someone else. I would tell you right now that we are 2 of the most understanding people in our entire building.
Well, what are you guys trying to say?
Well, what we're trying to tell you is that we know what happened. And what we'd like you to tell us is why. Not you. You don't need to tell us exactly every detail. But if you can kind of give us some sort of idea on why people do these things, I don't know.
why do you want to continue to hold this in? I mean,
Because I'm right.
Do you really think that, or are you ashamed right now?
I know I'm right. So that very much is my knowledge.
Okay. Well, what if I told you that your knowledge isn't right?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how, 1 + 1 will equal 2, and even if you tell me it equals 3, I'm going to tell you, no, it doesn't, because it's 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like, also when we have evidence and we have it all up, this is that scenario where you're trying to tell me 1 + 1 is 3, okay, and it's not.
Every Friday night there's a scenario like this on Dayline or 2020, and it's always the same outcome. It's not a mysterious burglar who came in and didn't ransack your house and didn't steal anything and left with no evidence that he was there or gone. That's never the case. Okay? It's always someone that had something traumatic happen to them.
Nothing that's traumatic really happened to me.
They blamed, either their family for it, or they didn't want their family to suffer, or for something. I suspect that one person in your family was kind of a trigger for you, and that the other 2 people.
Are you saying I don't like my sister or something?
Well, I don't know. It feels like maybe your sister.
She's my sister.
I know, you always say that. When I ask you if you love your sister, your answer is, well, she's my sister.
Yeah, so
Not required to love anyone in life. Especially if they're not that great to you.
Well, family's great.
You think she's embarrassed of you?
Embarrassed of me?
Yeah. What? I don't know, you don't let us in. Yeah.
Is there a reason why?
The sequence of events, Sabrina being shot first, raises questions about a potential personal motive, which could easily be tied to the tension between her and Alex.
We did receive some information that he and his sister did not get along at all. They had significantly different political views, that she was afraid if he found out that she was or what he would do to her. There was definitely tension in their relationship.
What I'm asking you is, how soon? Because if those cameras were unplugged last night, in the middle of the night, more than 10 minutes before you heard the shots, that's going to throw your story right out the window, Alex.
I don't really know anything about it.
I know, you keep telling me that, okay? The guy
I'm trying to help you as much as possible.
Yeah. The guy who unplugged those cameras is responsible for doing this.
I don't know anything about the cameras.
I do think you love him. I think if you could have life today, this wouldn't have happened.
Is there any look into the possibility that there was a guy there? Or is it just
They have looked into that and they just found that already. Okay, that was the first thing they looked into. And then once there was no evidence of that, it's pretty clear, okay?
Sorry, my family started in front of my house.
Good one.
Just did.
When you say they were slaughtered in front of your eyes, what do you mean by that?
Well, they're dead.
Okay. Well, I just want to understand why, Alex. Why you there? What? You're not dumb.
Thanks.
You're not dumb. Okay. So if we're on the same page with that, you don't think I'm dumb. I don't think you're dumb. Then why would you play this charade of
Telling you what.
And now she made the point about when you shot yourself in the foot that
I didn't shoot myself.
well, you said that earlier.
Well, maybe I shot myself.
Right.
Assumed guilt introduces mental stress, and proximity adds physical discomfort, creating a compounded sense of urgency and disorientation. By asking questions that imply guilt like, "You shot yourself," rather than "Did you shoot yourself?" Detective Sarah sets a frame where Alex is already seen as guilty. This puts him on the defensive, making him more likely to explain or justify actions rather than outright deny involvement.
You shot yourself in the foot.
Well, maybe you told him, right?
Well, you would know that. I mean, let's get back to the point of you're not dumb and I'm not dumb. Okay. You shot yourself in the foot. And then, okay. Because then you said it didn't hurt quite as bad as you thought it would.
No, I think it was quite adrenaline.
Well, sure. Probably. And that's why once you get that adrenaline dumps gone, that's when you said it hurt a little bit more after that. But so, because you have to shoot yourself in the foot for it to have a story of it being an accident. You know what I mean? It's, your family doesn't.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, but you wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to do that either, but you have to because how can everybody else?
Why would I do something like this?
To make it look like someone else did.
But I just.
Yeah, Alex, every time we talk about it, I can see right now. Your vein tells me that your heart's beating real fast.
Yeah, I'm getting mad.
The monitor tells me it does.
Here's another bizarre aspect of this interrogation. Questioning Alex in the hospital changes the game entirely. The whole setup is acting as an unintentional lie detector, amplifying every crack in his story. By conducting the interrogation in the hospital, a place of recovery and rest, Alex is denied the time to think and further establish his story as a victim himself.
We reverse spots right now. Would you believe me? You know for a fact nobody came and went from the house. That's fact. They told us that. Just hear me out. Okay, so put yourself in my shoes. I'm sitting here and you're sitting here. You know for a fact nobody came and went. You know that there were.
Because I know for a fact that someone was in my house.
Okay, well you're in my shoes now. Okay? And officers, 20 officers have been in the area. They've gone to every house. They picked up every sort of camera footage there is. Nobody came and went through your house. In order to fight somebody off, you would have defensive wounds or things like that, you know?
Well, maybe I spooked him or something.
Well, but if you spooked him, then when someone gets scared, then they take off and run.
Well, I put on my sister like this. Or my friends. Or let all my sister and my friends or something. I don't want to tell anyone what I felt.
Imaginary scenarios are effective ways to gauge reactions to hypothetical scenarios, which are close to the real events. So far, as you'd notice, there's a duality in Alex's actions, which reveals a paradox. Intelligent enough to attempt deception, but careless enough to leave gaps and emotionally detached to the point of rejecting it when it could have served him.
I did not come explore the commotion. What did Mom do though? That's what I can't figure out. What she do? Yeah. What do you mean what she do? I don't know. I don't understand how you escaped carnage in that house. Everyone in that house was shot in the head. Except for you, you got this superficial, tiny little wound in your foot. It makes no sense at all. That's all going wrong with you. But no one else is waking up, falling around with them. No one's running. Sister's in bed. She's got covers over her. She got shot first. Because someone was particularly mad at her. My dad came to explore, figure out what was going on. He got shot. And at that point, it was too late. I would just shoot Mom. That's why I think Mom is the one person in this whole scenario that you probably cared most about, or had the best relationship with.
Did you pull the trigger when the bullet got fired that went through your toe?
I don't remember either. You never did.
Okay, so you might have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Detectives now seem to understand the reasons for possible motives for killing his father and sister, but his mother's murder remains more puzzling. One possibility is that he wanted no one in the house to be left to testify or contradict his story.
Shot yourself in the foot. Okay? And then it didn't hurt as bad as you thought. I would be curious, like, gosh, this is going to hurt real bad. And I shoot myself in the foot too. That's the logical, you know. It's not real logical to shoot yourself like in the hand or something. And with a long gun like that, you can't shoot yourself in.
Hold my hands off the gun.
Right. But it's, I mean, you don't want to shoot yourself in the leg.
Well, I don't want to shoot myself at all.
Well, yeah, I believe that you don't want to, because you're afraid it would hurt too, and that's why you're surprised it didn't. But that's also why you chose your foot. Do you think it'll look better when, an entire family's been murdered in cold blood, and the person responsible continues to deny it and shows really no remorse? So just hear me out. And I mean, that makes it look like intentional homicide, that you wanted to massacre a family. Whereas we've given you every opportunity, we've confronted you with all the inconsistencies and the evidence. But you're not. Okay, so if a jury would listen to you say you're trying to help us, then they can see the wounds we've seen and nobody comes or goes and all of that, and then you continue with this story of I'm trying to help you. It really looks pretty cold. The fact that after this has happened to your family, that you're claiming you're trying to help us. Because we're Huh?
I want the guy found.
Yeah, well, we found the guy.
Found the guy?
Yeah.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah, we did.
It's not me.
Well, I didn't say it was you. Why would you say it
Well,
was
it's because you guys keep going back to it.
I didn't. You just told me that. I never. Well, we're gonna report on something too. We have to have evidence. And if we make a column of evidence that Alex did this, evidence that unidentified male did this, and we start putting in, okay, nobody on all the surrounding cameras in the neighborhood, and given that it's like a dead-end road, nobody came and left. Okay, so that doesn't go in a column of some unknown guy showing up at your residence. We have no forced entry, okay? That doesn't really work. Okay, so that goes in the Alex column also. And we have family members shot to death in the head and in bed.
Sister's not aware.
That goes in this column, and then we have Alex saying he might have shot himself in the foot, or it might have been the other guy. Not real sure. However, the trajectory and the evidence is going to show that he shot himself in the foot. That's going to go in this column too. So what I'm saying is, when you put all these together, we have nothing other than Alex saying, unidentified male who did not break into the house and used the gun that was, he broke into a house and used the gun that was in the house. How would he know there was one in there? Makes no sense. Okay? That's because there is no man, Alex. You were sleeping. You wake up. Your sister didn't, because you shot her before she could wake up.
Alex, your sister was sleeping when she was shot.
And I can tell you don't like your sister, because you don't get any.
Well, you guys are taking that out too.
Well, I don't know.
I'm a bit worked up.
Well, I'm a bit worked up the fact that you think we're that stupid. It's really offensive, honestly. It's offensive that I just spelled out
Alex,
all of the evidence to you, and that you're going to sit here and tell me, basically, I think you're dumb, is what you're saying without saying it. I think that's offensive.
Alex,
Alex, you're more than just a family.
Alex, listen.
Because I didn't kill my family, that's why.
The reason that this is so clear on what happened, because you didn't think it through that well.
Exactly.
And you didn't think it through that well, Alex, because I'm willing to bet that right up until the point when you pulled the trigger, you were having second thoughts.
Even after employing about a dozen tactics and pointing out so many inconsistencies, Alex is still sticking to his intruder story. However, the story fails in the face of the facts. The murder weapon, a Browning .22 caliber rifle that belonged to the family, had Alex's palm prints on it. It would also have to be reloaded for firing so many shots, and was not a simple, easy-to-use weapon. Its complexity meant that anyone unfamiliar with it would face difficulty operating it effectively. The police, despite being trained, had to consult an online tutorial on how to operate the gun properly.
So I did refer to a video to see how to properly load this rifle.
This raised immediate questions. How could an intruder, who allegedly had no prior knowledge of the rather uncommon gun in the home, have managed to not only fire it, but reload it as well with ease?
Like, I should have kept the door in instead of just left it open a little bit.
There's a lot of variables. This is so clearly what happened, Alex.
I should have ransacked the house a little to make it look like somebody was trying to rob the place rather than just come in and massacre my family. That wasn't well thought out.
You didn't think it out. You didn't think it out, Alex, because there's something going on. If we're to believe that he started shooting people because they found out he was burglarizing a home, your sister never found out. Why would you just go search every room and just start indiscriminately shooting sleeping people that haven't discovered your home? You're here.
Maybe my dad filming downstairs.
Okay.
And then,
yeah.
You didn't know anyone to see him or something?
Okay. So no one else has seen him though. Let's assume your dad saw him, okay? I'll play that game with you. Dad saw him, right? And then so he shot your dad because Dad realized he was stealing the gun that you guys cleaned yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, because Dad left it out and was careless and didn't put it away. Okay, and he happened to find, wow, there's a gun. I'm like, guns, I'm going to steal that. So that was what he was going to steal. So he shot your dad when he realized it. Okay, and then he was there. Okay, you're upstairs sleeping. Okay, that would be the most likely scenario. So now your dad's the first person shot. Alright. Okay, how does he get by you? To get upstairs to shoot your mom?
Maybe you already been up there.
You'd already been up there? Well, if he's already up there shooting your mom who sleeps in bed with your dad, why was your dad downstairs investigating the shots?
Maybe I got delayed to getting up or something because I just woke up.
Right?
running down the stairs.
Well, you don't have anything to do with that scenario. I'm talking about your mom shot in the bedroom. She's clearly shot after Dad. If she was shot before Dad, he'd be shot in the bedroom also. These are the things.
He usually wakes up earlier than her. To my knowledge. He has sleep problems.
They let Alex's version unfold and then point out logical or factual discrepancies in his story. This tactic enabled the detectives to maintain a non-confrontational tone, making the suspect feel less defensive while keeping the pressure on him. But when this doesn't seem to work either, prompting the detectives to switch gears and try to give him what he had banked this whole crime on: sympathy.
Feel pressured like you gotta do something, and everybody's riding your ass, and they make you feel like you're a loser and not successful and hasn't accomplished anything. Whereas you're 20 years old and you just don't know what to do yet. And now, well, how do they not understand that? I get that. I was there. When I was in college, I didn't start out as a social work major. I started out as an education major. I changed my major. So I was your age. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I did. And, you know, my mom was understanding and let me work through it without writing me about it or making me feel bad about it. And kind of from what I heard you just say is, if that's what happened in your scenario in the last few months, that would be unbelievably stressful. Trying to find a place to work, trying to figure out what you want to do with your life.
Sure.
I get that. And that's what I've been trying to tell you since the first second I talked to you. There's a reason behind everything, and I understand a lot of things, and now I'm glad I at least understand that part. Because that's frustrating. It's your life. You used to get to choose what you want to do. You know, I was an education major because my grandma was a teacher, and she wanted me to be a teacher. So I started out as an education major, and I hated it. And so now I'm going, well, shit. She's going to be mad at me if I don't want to do this. But I want to be a cop.
But I don't really see what it has to do with the murder.
Well, the pressure.
Oh, I've been pressured into doing this.
No, just the pressure that your family's put on you.
Through hours of questioning, Alex's nonchalant attitude never wavers. In some ways, we're looking at narcissistic overconfidence. The detectives try lures, accusations, and subtle traps, but none seem to pierce his impenetrable facade. His calmness borders on eerie, almost as if he's rehearsed every possible response.
And if I'm off base on this, I apologize, but also I know a lot of people that come from a lot of different backgrounds, and when it comes to anything like sexuality and stuff, and that is a tremendous amount of pressure that people have to deal with. Do you like women?
Sure.
Do you like men?
Not that one. Not that one.
So would you just rather not be with a man or a woman?
I'm normal.
What's that mean?
I guess straight.
Okay.
So that's never been an issue with your family or anything, right? We're trying to just brainstorm.
So I think my parents would be open if I was.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, sometimes people struggle with coming out to their family and things like that. And I don't know.
What we need to do is, though, is your official story to us has always been, and you stuck to it for now, is this is a burglary. Okay? Even though there's zero elements of burglary to it.
Again, there'd be a forced entry in the house and whatnot. That's the part you didn't think about. You should have kicked the door to make it, well, I'm just saying, or at least ransack the house. And you're probably going, wishing you would have now. Because you know,
What do you guys think?
What says burglary about this other than what's coming out of your mouth? You told the dispatcher your mom was dead.
Well, there's gunshots.
Well, doesn't mean she was shot. You know how you told the dispatcher that? Because you knew it. Because you saw her.
I didn't see my mother on the
Well, you did when you pulled the trigger. And I know that pisses you off to hear it, but it pisses me off that you're making me have to say it.
Pisses me off that you think I did.
I don't think you did it.
You don't think I did it?
I know you did it. Look at this. Look at your foot.
You shot yourself.
Nobody gets an injury like that.
Okay, people, shoot yourself in the foot. That's what, you know what, when people accidentally get shot in the foot, it goes through the ankle. I've seen it.
They don't shoot themselves in the top of the foot unless they're going, oh, I gotta be shot too, but I'm not gonna shoot myself in the head. I shot my family in the head, but I'm not gonna do that to myself. What I'm gonna do is, okay, what's gonna hurt the least? So I don't have the courage to do anywhere else. So you shoot yourself in the foot because you think that's gonna hurt the least. And then you make the comment, you know, it really didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would. Because you thought about how bad this is going to hurt when you pull the trigger.
Well, I thought previously, you know.
You thought previously?
I thought before, you know.
Okay, yeah.
That's like,
Well, I don't sit there and go, okay, this is going to hurt.
oh, I didn't do that.
Well, and then you were pleasantly surprised that after you shot yourself in the foot, it didn't hurt as bad as you thought it would.
At the time, sure.
Right. You were pleasantly surprised that did not hurt as bad as you had made it up in your
head. It wasn't pain, I was like,
and you were surprised, right? You were like, wow, I just shot myself in the foot, and that didn't hurt.
Alex clings to his lies like a lifeline. He knows confessing would unravel everything he's worked so hard to conceal. But the most important question here is, how long can he keep it up?
They were two young men that shot and killed their parents in their home and said it was an intruder. But later, when they went to jail, they changed their stories that said Dad was abusing them and had been for pretty much their whole lives. And that was what they went to court with as part of their defense. And this has got a lot of hallmarks of that.
my parents did good to me.
Right.
Also,
This is the moment when these cops would make some progress, and soon they would come as close as they could to getting a confession from Alex.
How do you support yourself right now?
how do I support myself?
Financially.
Yeah.
Who pays for your Chick-fil-A?
Well, my parents, yes.
At 20 years old?
Yeah.
Who's going to pay for it tomorrow?
Do you have money in the bank?
$30 or something.
So you got $30 in the bank.
I guess I have money, but
Right.
maybe there, I guess. Or just might have a job.
So you can continue to stay as long as you can get a job. But if you didn't, then what?
He might have told me to
He was going to kick you off.
That's not good.
Because he said that. Right. Okay.
I guess you didn't say it directly, but you would imply it.
He implied it, right? Because when he didn't understand what you were going through, he probably didn't even try to understand, did he?
I don't understand it.
To understanding, otherwise he would have given you a little more flexibility with this. Background, take a look at his foot for a second.
Hi, Andrew. I'm Dr. Dole. I'm your podiatry. Nice to meet you. So, your doctor just asked me to come take a look at your foot to see if there's anything we need to do. So, that's all right. I'm just going to take a look.
Okay.
Are you having a lot of pain right now?
Not right now.
Okay. Okay.
By the time doctors finally checked on Alex, his foot had been bleeding for about 4 hours, a detail that didn't go unnoticed. The fact that medical intervention was delayed and that he was under the influence of prior medication would add layers of doubt to the reliability of his responses and become one of the biggest controversies of this case. This misstep by detectives may have jeopardized the integrity of the whole process.
Hey, a few more developments. Okay. I'd like to chat about, maybe you could tell me about your foot too. I'm going to read your rights again, just like we did before, okay? Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Hey, so, I know when we left, we kind of told you where we were at on this thing, and you told us where you were at on that thing. So, one of the big things that we needed to really hammer out was this video, right? This ring video from your house that would help substantiate some of what you told us. And I talked to my guy Jeff. He does all the forensic or digital forensic type stuff, phones and computers and cameras and things like that for us. Good news, he did a search warrant for the ring and got it back. There are no clips of anyone leaving your house. That one in the back, there is a clip there that they were looking at, and it just kind of, we use that as an example of how much of your yard it covered. That was the whole backyard.
Okay, I didn't know that was one in the back.
Yeah.
I thought it was just one.
So, there's that one, right? And there's that one camera in the backyard. And again, I mean, they're apparently motion activated.
Because last night, didn't they get him dumping water out the...
Yeah, you can't...
dump some water out the back? A bucket of water?
Maybe my parents did.
No, he said they look like you. Does your dad look like you?
Sure.
Okay. Well, someone went out back, dumped a bucket of water, maybe went up to that screened-in porch.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you clearly didn't know about the camera, but I'm telling you, there's a camera back there. It captures your whole backyard, including what appeared to be you. I didn't personally see it. I'm just relaying what he told me.
Okay.
And he also told me there's no video of anyone leaving.
Okay.
The front, same thing.
This was Alex's breaking point. The moment he realized the backyard he thought was hidden had been quietly surveilled. Another shocking element in this case is the fact that this case would be solved because there was no one caught on camera.
It was at 8:12 when you said that you need to call 911.
21.
8:21? I'm sorry, I may have gotten that slightly wrong.
Is that when I called? Okay.
How long before that did you wake up for the day?
5 to 10 minutes, I don't know.
Okay, so conservatively we could say you were asleep till at least 8 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. So who's using your phone at 6 a.m. to get on social media? Who's using your phone at 6 a.m. to get on social media?
This was the moment Alex realized he wasn't as smart as he thought he was. He had messed up pretty bad.
Maybe me? I don't know. I don't remember.
But how could you use it at 6 if you were asleep till 8? You see what we're saying, Alex? It's time.
Social media.
Alex.
Time to just...
Not the point.
The gig's up, bud.
No one left. You're awake much earlier than you called. Okay, because you're brainstorming how to get your ass out of this trouble you're in. When you heard shots, you told us earlier that you'd heard maybe 10 shots.
Something like that.
Sure. They're just in a row? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 or whatever? In a row? All one little burst?
No. Maybe some bursts, but not in a row.
Okay. Tell us about that.
I was just in like a few bursts or something.
How long are we talking about? Like 10 seconds total, or 5 seconds, or 2 seconds? Or 10 minutes?
A minute, maybe?
So there's a little gap, and there's like a minute?
Yeah, 10, let's say 10 shots in a minute or something.
Okay. Okay, so in that minute, when did you wake up? You clearly woke up after the first shot. Otherwise you wouldn't guess there was 10, right? Or what you perceived to be the first shot.
Sure, yeah.
Right. Came in, went straight downstairs. Well, how's the bad guy supposed to get past you upstairs to kill your mom? And then come back downstairs only to be standing down there when you get down there to confront him.
Well, he was coming up a bit slow about getting downstairs, but that's...
He was or you were?
I was, I guess.
We took into account your theory about a ski masked intruder coming in with the worst description on the planet, and we gave it due diligence. Okay? I told you we went into this, and there was nothing about this story that seemed like it was an intruder, right? But you didn't want to change your story. You wanted to stick with the intruder. And we wanted to be thorough. And we wanted to be thorough in the really, really off chance. And I know why. And the why's a pretty good reason. Okay, you got a lot of baggage dealing with that family. I get it. We all know about it. We took into account your story. And now that we've completely thrown that out, knowing that that's not possible, we're coming to you for an explanation. Not some story. A story's made up. An explanation for what brought you there today. What got you to that point in your life?
It's not Alex.
You developed that story before you realized there was a camera on the back of your house. Because I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think Dad puts those things out. You don't pay that close attention to them. And that's just one of those things. You weren't thinking straight, Alex. You weren't. People now.
Because this is what's happening, Alex. I just remember earlier today we talked about what do you want to happen at the end of the day? You want to go home, right? Well, you're not going to go home.
Okay.
You're being charged with murder of your mom, your dad, and your sister. And you're going to go to jail.
The trial began in January 2023. After deliberating for about 6 hours, a jury found Alex guilty on 3 counts of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Alexander Jackson, guilty of the offense of murder in the first degree.
This case is full of contradictions. On one hand, people question whether it was fair to interrogate Alex in a hospital since he was medicated and likely in shock after finding his family murdered. Critics argue he wasn't in the right state of mind to answer questions. But on the flip side, it's not unheard of for people to kill their own families, so the police had every reason to dig deeper. The evidence of this case also adds to the duality. Some call it circumstantial and inconclusive, while others point out that the logic of the case doesn't leave much room for an intruder scenario. It's a constant push and pull between what feels ethical and what points to the truth. Do you think interrogating someone under medication could lead to unreliable answers, or was it justified given the circumstances? What do you think might have been Alex's motive to kill his mother? Given the context, we invite you to share your thoughts and insights on this case. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you'd like us to cover any specific case, please drop your suggestions. Also, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so that we can keep covering such cases. Until next time, stay safe.